Arsenal will definitely beat Fulham on Sunday if Fulham are anywhere near as poor as they were when I saw them at Bournemouth on Boxing Day. They were absolutely atrocious, Fulham. So this is the trickier game. And actually, I remember last season they had issues, didn't they, against West Ham, albeit away from home. We were giving Martin Keown a bit of ribbon because he was telling us for weeks that, West Ham, don't underestimate them. They could be a real thorn in our side. They went 2-0 up, I think, at London Stadium, ended up drawing 2-2, and that was really costly come the end of the season. So,
and weren't they beaten at the London Stadium in the EFL Cup?
This season? Yeah, they were, absolutely. Arteta made a lot of changes. So it's a difficult game. I think it's amazing to think that if they get a point, West Ham are into the top 6 in the table.
They've been playing well. They're not a sparkling side, but they're brilliant at counter-attacking, and they take their chances when they come their way. And we've got someone like Mohammed Kudus in the team.
And Paquetá, how many assists he got in the last couple of weeks?
Well, he's got 5 assists in 2 games.
Incredible.
I mean, it was brilliant when he went into the middle. They did that brilliant thing where they start off with Bowen and through the middle, and they have the 2 wide boys, Paquetá and Kudus, and then they rotate them into the second half. And then obviously the defenders get a little bit sort of lost by sort of who's playing where. And then Paquetá's got so much strength that you don't really realise. Brilliant on the ball, starts to conduct, and all of a sudden, they take games away from you.
Well, what I was going to say was they can go sick with a point. They're into the last 16 in the Europa League. They've just won a European trophy. OK, his team selection has caused a lot of outrage amongst West Ham fans in that League Cup quarter-final. Yeah. But there's still a big contingent of West Ham fans who are not necessarily invested in David Moyes. And I just wonder who they think can come in and do more for that football club than he's done.
He is the man who came in, it steadied the ship. They sacked him when they thought they could get someone more glamorous, bought in Pellegrini. Then
Gave him a lot of money to spend.
Then they had to come in and patch up all of the work that Pellegrini had undone, saved them from relegation, got them into a good position, took them to a European semi-final, won them a European competition, and now they're threatening to get back into the top 8 again. I mean, this is great for them.
Yeah, I think so, and I think he's evolved the squad. You've got those flair players that you mentioned now.
Spend the money from Declan Rice really well.
They have, and I think James Ward-Prowse has been an excellent signing as well. I mean, I'd imagine in the next couple of weeks we'll talk about signings of the season so far, and I think he has to be right up there.
Edson Alvarez has been terrific.
Yeah, defensively they're strong, which is always the case with David Moyes' team. I think Arsenal will beat them, but I don't think it'll be straightforward.
Kudus has done brilliantly, by the way. His goal return, the way he's seamlessly come into the Premier League. When you think he's scored in double figures already in the Premier League for the amount of football, in English football, for the amount of time that he's been here. He also scored 4 goals for Ajax prior to arriving. It's a seamless transition from him. Yeah, and it's not always easy to make that step up from the touch league. Just ask Antony. And actually, I do wonder if Manchester United misspelt Kudus' name when they submitted the official bid for Antony, because it looks like they've signed the wrong winger from Ajax, doesn't it? You always have to bring it back to Manchester United, don't you?
It's a valid point, because he's been terrific, and other players who've come from the Eredivisie have floundered in the Premier League. Yeah, well, West Ham United tonight, probably facing an Arsenal team that will make a few tweaks going into the game. I also think that Kai Havertz's form has gone under the radar as well. He's done very well over the last few weeks, and looks like Mikel Arteta is getting a tune out of him. Yeah, and you have to credit him for that, because a lot of people, me included, weren't convinced that the money was spent in the right place. You obliterated him, didn't you? Alex, the obliterator crook. I still think they should have spent £65 million on a number 9 rather than Kai Havertz, but Mikel Arteta has found a way to get the best out of him. I'm a bit worried about Zinchenko. I don't think his form's been great this season. He wasn't great in the goal that Liverpool scored at the weekend, so I think that's maybe an area of weakness. I think they've missed Tomiyasu. Yeah. I think someone said that to me actually in the build-up to the game, that he's the best one-on-one defender, and probably would have preferred to have had him in the team on Saturday night.
TalkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.